Good afternoon, sir. May I come in?
Good afternoon. Please come.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please sit down, Nitisha.
Thank you, sir.
So, Nitisha, we begin with a brief introduction from you.
So, my name is NITISHA THAKWANI. I was born in Raipur, raised in Delhi. I completed my engineering from Netaji Subhash Institute of Technology, after which I did my MBA from IIM Kozhikode. And I worked for a year with Deloitte Consulting US India, and I'm currently working with Accenture Strategy. And in my free time, I like reading books on self-improvement and playing badminton.
So, Nitisha, with such bright qualifications, NIT plus MBA, and working with MNCs, what attracts you to the civil services?
So while my work both at Deloitte and Accenture was very fulfilling, but so I realized that at Accenture I was merely maximizing the shareholders' value and enhancing their wealth. However, in contrast, as a civil servant, I will get an opportunity to work with people at large and improve their lives and work for the welfare of people. So, sir, that is one of the major driving forces which has attracted me here.
So, tell me, during your MBA and working with Deloitte and Accenture, what qualities you have acquired to be a good manager?
So, first I would say that it was that I had to deliver quality outputs in tight timelines. That was one of the major learnings. Second was, sir, with respect to incorporating high velocity feedback from my manager, from my project lead, and improving on the go. That was another learning. And third, sir, seeking for help, because, sir, a lot of time I had to work under ambiguity and ambiguous conditions. So reaching out to my seniors for help was something which I learned.
So tell me, all these learnings that you have mentioned, suppose in civil services you are confronted with the problem of or the challenge of a farmer agitation, like the way it is happening around Delhi.
Yes.
So how would you use these learnings and your MBA management tools to tackle the farmers agitation?
So farmers agitation, firstly, it impinges upon law and order problem. So that would be my first criteria to address the law and order and lawlessness situation. So, sir, as I learned in Accenture that I was able to communicate directly to my people's lead or my manager whenever there was an ambiguous situation. So coordinating with other teams, for example, so the police, so as to manage the law and order, that would be my first task. Second, sir, trying to engage with the stakeholders directly would be another plan, so as to hear their grievances and if a solution is possible, and trying to reach a middle ground. So in that way, sir, I can implement my learnings.
Nitisha, tell me, you have done sociology.
Yes.
Tell me, financial independence of women in India is bringing a paradigm shift in the social fabric of India. Do you agree?
Yes, sir, I agree. So financial empowerment is one of the tools with which it enhances the decision making of women and take decisions independently. For example, so it is found that women who are more empowered financially have taken decisions that have more lasting impact and can impinge directly upon socio-economic indicators. So I feel that in that way they have transformed the social fabric of our country.
Is it disturbing the family structure also to some extent?
We are largely living in a male-dominated society. So in a way, yes, sir, it is disturbing the family structure. But I feel that this is in the right direction, because it is high time that conjugal rights should be equal and there should be empowerment of women as well.
Good. Pakistan's new Prime Minister has taken over.
Yes.
And the first day itself, he has made some statement about India. What is it?
So while I'm not aware of the exact comments that he made, but so he talked about the economic situation.
No, he talked about Kashmir.
Yes.
he raised the same Kashmir issue
Yes.
and compared with Palestine also. That so, in the light of what he has said, what I told just now, what should be India's reaction to the new Prime Minister? Because PM generally has welcomed, to be the next Prime Minister. But now, in the light of this statement, what should be our stand, India's stand?
So I believe that India's stand should be wait and watch approach as of now, because sir, these are just initial comments that have come in. But sir, there are two major developments that have taken place in Pakistan. One is the economic uncertainty which the Pakistan is facing, and other is security crisis after US has moved away from Afghanistan. So in the light of these two aspects, there will be a lot of changes in how decision making takes place. So wait and watch approach should be the.
So we should not controvert or reply to or give any befitting reply to what he has mentioned about Kashmir. Not required at this moment.
Yes, sir, it's not required because given
All
that
right.
India-Pakistan relations are already precarious.
Got it. Thank you, Nitisha.
Thank you, sir.
NITISHA,
Yes.
you have opted for sociology.
Yes.
Now, in in our society, the young people, they are tempted towards earning quick money. So we have a lot of betting apps, Mahadev apps and such type of apps,
Sir.
betting apps. Can administration, the district administration, can do something so that, say, education or some rules or some regulations, so that these young people, they don't, otherwise they are duped. A lot of people are duped, young people,
Yes.
with betting apps.
Yes.
So what can be done? Can you suggest something? Administrative action, some administrative actions.
So I believe that it has a two-pronged approach strategy. First would be creating awareness at the grassroots level at a young age through education. Creating awareness should be the first step. And at the same time, sir, proper regulations, rules should be framed so that the rules, they not only curb innovation, but also they are embedded in certain values of our society, for example, integrity, ethics. So, sir, this twin approach will help to solve such problems.
The young population, we have got a good number of people, society, and now there are two type of things.
Yes.
One is that we should concentrate, we should focus more on imparting higher education to our young population. And second is that we should impart skill development. We should impart skills in the people, in the young people. So there may be a proportion also, there may be a skewed or lopsided thing also. So what is your opinion? Should we go all for skill development, or should we go for higher studies in PhDs and DSCs, some type of thing? What is your opinion about for young population of India?
So I believe that there should be a balanced approach, given that skill development, upskilling and reskilling is very necessary as the entire job structure is changing very rapidly, given that technological developments are taking place in the line of AI, ML. And so at the same time, higher education should also be promoted, given that India is also focusing on innovation and research and development and technological prowess. And so we have seen a progress on this end also. For example, our global innovation index has improved from 80 to 41 in just one decade. So I feel there should be a balanced approach.
NITISHA, if you could tell me some positive aspects of our tribal society that can be emulated by rest of the people, and some negative aspects which you want to rectify in the tribal societies, some positive and some negatives.
So I will start with the positives first. So first is the way, the communitarian approach which tribals have. So the bonhomie and the integrated nature of the society is something which we can learn. And second, sir, their approach to the environment. They carry their livelihood, because it depends on environment. So how environment and livelihood can coexist is something which we can learn. So on the negative aspect, there are certain custom rituals which are not very progressive. For example, witch hunting or human sacrifice, that can be done away with. And second, sir, the level of education is also not very high among certain tribes. So to progress the tribal society, imparting education is something which we can do.
NITISHA, once upon a time, our society had deviant behavior like thugs used to be there, thugs, understand thuggy?
So I've heard the term but not sure what
Not
exactly.
sure about it.
Yes.
So such type of thing, dacoity,
Yes.
thuggy, such type of behavior, deviant behavior.
Yes.
The present day society has a different set of deviant behavior. Do you find the present day deviant behavior of society is more dangerous? Say, conning or duping somebody, something like that. Is it more dangerous or the earlier ones were more dangerous?
So I believe that the current ones are more difficult, more challenging.
More challenging.
More challenging. So largely because the manner in which it is the manner in which it is taken forward. So because initially it is difficult to gain and to track such incidences, but they seep in and take so much depth in our society that until the problem is realized, it is too huge. So that is it.
My last question is about in Europe. Germany is a very important country.
Yes.
And so far we have not developed good bilateral relations. We have very good bilateral relations in Germany, but our partnership are not that deep in many sectors. So can we do something on defense sector with Germany? Or do you know that some development is taking place between India and Germany as far as the defense sector is concerned? We are progressing good with Germany. Do you know something about that?
So I think I skipped this news. I will read about it. Not sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Nit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, NITISHA, you were head of content of TEDx.
Yes.
So, very popular platform.
Yes.
Tell me one Indian leader whose talk on TEDx you like the most.
So, when I was the content head at college, so one of the speakers who inspired me the most was Miss Hina Gujral. So, she was an MBA and she was working for a very good company with a very fat paycheck. However, she thought that her purpose of life is a little different. So, she took the risk, took a leap of faith and started her own food blogging. And now she is able to pursue her passion very diligently. So from her, I feel very inspired to work towards our own purpose and take a leap of faith.
All right, so that brings me to traits of a leader.
Yes.
So, with your knowledge of reading books on self-improvement and TEDx, can you list out 3 or 4 important traits of a good leader?
So the most important trait is to motivate the people so that they can also contribute to the mission and vision of any organization. So second is the power of persuasion and nudging so that the followers do what the leader desires them to do. That would be another. And so third would be when a situation of uncertainty or ambiguity comes in, how to keep the team structure in place and to move forward collectively is another trait of a leader.
So, NITISHA, tell me in 2 instances, risk taking and implementing a change, what can be role of a leader?
So I believe the role of a leader is very important as far as both risk taking is concerned and implementing change is concerned. So leader by his attribute, he is supposed to be able to anticipate the future, change the status quo and move forward as a team. So having a vision and eyesight for the future will help in taking risk also and implement change as well.
All right. You have to pick up a team
Yes.
to execute a time-bound infrastructure project. All right. So, what will be traits of the team members that you will pick up? You are heading the team as a leader.
So because this is a project which has to be implemented in a time bound manner, the first important trait which I will look in my team would be perseverance, so that they are able to complete their work within tight timelines. Second, sir, being motivated, self-motivated, which is also important given that unambiguous situation may arise as far as infrastructure is concerned, because there might be certain hurdles, for example, getting land clearance or certain issues which might lead to delay. So motivation and being self-motivated. These are the broad traits I will look at.
Nitisha, more than 50% of our population is involved in agriculture
Yes.
with very low wages and very poor productivity. Why are they not moving out, insisting on MSP? What is it that is keeping them there? And what should be done to, number one, improve productivity, and number two, to take out people from agriculture to more productive areas?
So to address the first part of the question, so I believe that they are not being able to move forward because of lack of opportunities, and also the legacy system, because they have ancestors or the history or the legacy wherein their entire family has been dependent on agriculture. So these are the broad two reasons why they are not able to move forward. So coming to the second part of the question, so I believe that to increase productivity, there should be more focus on allied sectors as well, for example, fishery, dairying, which is also recommended in the doubling of farmer income by Ashok Dalwai committee. And so secondly, recently released data by NSO, the monthly per capita expenditure, is also showing that the per capita expenditure of people on cereals and pulses is reducing, and they are moving towards more horticulture crops like fruits and vegetables. So diversification would also help improve productivity. And lastly, sir, upskilling of the skill of the unskilled labor will also help improve their productivity and diversify the incomes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon, Nitisha.
Good afternoon.
So, you're a student of sociology.
Yes.
So, can you highlight role of the emerging middle class in our society? Number two, as well as in our economy also.
Yes. So in a society, middle class, both in society and economy, they have played an important role. So first is driving consumption, because majority of our GDP is consumption driven. So they have increased the consumption and helping our economy grow. So second is innovation also. There are a spurt of middle class families, middle class people who are innovating and driving change of our society. That is another. So third is their role in providing professional services such as education, healthcare services. So they are directly contributing to the socio-economic indicators of our society.
Now, can you highlight economic reforms which were carried out in past decade or 8 to 10 years?
So the first economic reform which has been very important is the push to the manufacturing sector. So schemes like Make in India, which was introduced. And
second, other reforms?
Yes. So there has also been focus on improving the agricultural sector by upskilling the skill of the unskilled labor. In that aspect also it has improved. Third, the focus has been more on inclusive growth to shift away from jobless growth.
What about insolvency and bankruptcy code, GST?
Yes, so these are also other important. Also, so demonetization has also been.
So how do you assess the performance of insolvency and bankruptcy code?
So it has been a mixed bag. Positives, for example, the winding up of business or liquidity crisis has been averted to a large extent. The time which was taken earlier to to liquidate or to provide relief to the investors has increased considerably. However, sir, challenges also remain as far as the degree of resolving certain stress in these companies have increased. So it has been a mixed bag.
Okay. What do you understand by digital governance, and how is India performing as far as digital governance is concerned?
So digital governance essentially means saturating people, especially the poor, with civic amenities or including them in the financial institutions. And so the backbone of which has been the JAM Trinity, Jantan Aadhaar Mobile, and has also been laid by the foundation of digital public infrastructure. So recently the NASSCOM chief said that DPI has the potential to add $1 trillion to our economy in the coming years. And so it has transformed to a large extent the way governance is considered. For example, so it has placed the citizens at the center of the welfare measures, bringing in citizen centricity. So in that aspect, it has transformed the governance.
Now, coming to your hobby section, you like playing badminton.
Yes.
So, can you highlight achievements of India in badminton in past few months?
Yes. So just a few weeks back, we won the first Badminton Asia Team Championship gold medal, and that too in women category. And the team was led by Miss PV Sindhu and Anmol Khara, who is just 17 years old. And so apart from the women's team, the men team has also performed significantly. The men double team, Satvik Siraj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty, they were ranked 1 and they were runners up in both Thailand Open and Malaysia.
So thank you, Nitisha. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Thank you.
So, Nitisha, we have covered a lot of areas from your DAF.
Yes.
However, if you think that something from your DAF is still not being touched, I can ask you one last question.
So I can tell about my learnings from self-help books.
Please. So, what have you done in self-help groups?
So it is one of my hobbies, sir,
Okay.
to read self-help books.
All right.
So if you permit, I can share a few learnings.
Yeah, please.
So, sir, I recently read The Difficulty of Being Good by Gurcharan Das. So he has tried to compare the learnings from Mahabharat, which we can apply today. So, sir, 3 important learnings which I had. First was, sir, with respect to truth can be troubled but not trounced. So second, from Karn, I learned the importance of charity. So he teared away his divine possession of Kundal and Kavach, knowing fully well that it would endanger his life. And so third, from Yudhishthir, I learned the importance of walking on the path of dharma and not caring about the fruits. He said, I act because I must. So that drives me to act because I should and not for the sake of fruits.
Good.
Thank you.
So, what for a civil servant is dharma?
So according to me, for a civil servant, dharma is to serve the last of the lastest person, to ensure that the poorest of the poor person receives his share of what he deserves rightly in the society. And so transforming citizen from being just a beneficiary or a consumer to the center of the economic agenda is something which I feel is the dharma of civil servant.
So, thank you, Nitisha. We close our interview.
Thank you, sir.
We'll call you after a few minutes again for the feedback.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So, please sit down.
Thank you.
So, Nitisha, how was the performance?
So overall, I really enjoyed the process, but I thought I could answer and structure some of my answers in a much better manner.
Yeah. So, Nitisha, we are quite impressed with your overall performance. You were good in all spheres. Knowledge-wise, yes, a little bit of coming with more, loaded points first,
Yeah.
and starting with, the crux of the answer, or maybe some good qualitative content.
Okay.
Could have been, maybe you could think for some time and then speak. That would certainly do you good. But on the whole, you were good in all spheres. You are intellectual. You are very bright. good knowledge, variety of knowledge. You could cover a little bit of, embarrassment you could have, Nitisha, to prepare you for the main interview.
Yes.
With regard to your role that you are having today
Right.
and the role that you would be having at civil service.
Yes.
Now, your transfer of change should look very positive.
Okay.
वो थोड़ा कम लगा.
Achha. Got it.
You should look as if, you are more as a civil servant rather than as an executive in a multinational.
Okay.
And you could always feel ki bhai, maybe you are biased because you know about me that I have worked in Accenture and Deloitte and I have done MBA and all. But even then, you have to factor with that. Even if it is a flaw
Yes.
in perception of the panel,
Okay.
even then you have to, cater to it because they are going to decide your, your destiny.
Yes.
So, इसलिए थोड़ा सा ऐसा लगे जैसे your enthusiasm for civil service and your knowledge about civil service, the lower, what exactly happens, should be a little more deeper.
Okay.
When I asked you this question about farmers' agitation, it was good, but you dwelt on only the law and order and you continued with it. Coordination and this, that. Coordination is a part of it.
Yes.
But you should have applied your, it was not necessary that all your learnings of those 3 learnings, because you have not worked as a leader there.
Yes, sir.
In these companies, you have just started with your career
Absolutely.
at a very lower rung.
Absolutely.
Here you will be a leader.
Yes.
So your transformation should be such that, and that is why I asked you ki learnings as well as your MBA.
Yes.
So MBA teaches you leadership qualities. So you should apply full throttle, your qualities which are required as a civilian. Sir, I would use my leadership qualities, to tackle the farmers' agitation. I would, as a leader of the administration, I would coordinate with all the departments. I would see that all stakeholders, which you mentioned also. But you understand the difference.
Yes, I understand.
Don't apply those learnings one by one that you said.
Got it.
How do I justify? I will speak to my seniors. So here I will speak to my chief secretary. Don't. It's not mathematics. उससे relate नहीं करिए आप. Overall बताइए जो civil servant के रूप में ज़रूरत है.
Okay.
Customize yourself immediately to the requirement so
Yes.
that one gets the feeling that yes, you are aware of your role as a civil servant.
Understood.
It's just like when you must have gone to Accenture or Deloitte. How do you think you are good for this job? Sir, I have done MBA, I have done this, I have done that. Same thing वो देख रहे हैं आपको कि भाई ये ज़्यादा टेक्नोक्रेट प्लस MBA वाला मैनेजर ज़्यादा अच्छी हैं या सिविल सर्वेंट भी हो सकती हैं. How would you convert from a manager to a civil servant? That is important. Get my point? So since you are so overqualified, आपसे ये issue आ सकता है, ठीक है ना? Which I asked also.
Yes.
So rest is fine. We didn't ask too many on Chhattisgarh, but
Yes, Chhattisgarh.
prepare for Chhattisgarh also, and especially LWE and all,
Okay.
right? So on the whole, you are done very well, and let's hear other members.
Thank you, sir.
Nitisha, you are a very good candidate. You are
Thank you.
excellent candidate. You have done very well. In your subject, you have done very well. In deviant behavior of society, I gave a cue to you about conning and all those things, but there are other sectors as well. This brutality in murders and such type of things, which generally I think we don't find much such type of crimes in past history.
Okay.
We find a lot of crimes in past,
Yes.
but they are more or less generic type of things,
Okay.
Now we see a lot of brutalities also. So that is also a very, quite aberrant type of deviant behavior. In some parts,
Yes.
very isolated type of things, but that is again a very important one.
Yes.
Second is that this Germany, actually Germany has been a hesitant country, we have been very good ties, defense ties with France and all that, but Germany, now with the Russia-Ukraine after effects, Only yesterday, the German ambassador has come up very, very strongly. And in fact, I think in the month of August, the Germany and India partnership, they are doing some defense exercises and defense exhibitions in Coimbatore in the coming August. So read about it, because
Yes.
Germany is a very important country in Europe, and if we do partner with them on our defense sector, especially for submarine sector, and joint collaboration in joint manufacturing, India is also quite now this thing eager to have good relations in defense sector with Germany. So Germany, I tell you, in future is going to be a very important country for us. So read a little bit about this thing. It was in yesterday's paper also. I think today's paper also.
Okay, I'll
So
read
good
about
news. So read about it, our ties with European Union and Germany, etc. Okay, and other things you're very good. You have done very, very well. Skill development and higher education, etc. Very marvelously well. You are a very good candidate. You will do very well in your interview as well.
Thank you, sir.
All the
Thank
best.
you, sir.
So Nitisha, same comments. You are very good communicator. Don't look so serious. You were looking very serious.
Okay.
All right. So other than that, your all issues, traits of leader. I had to suggest 2 more traits. So don't forget. Picking up of your team. You picked up very good ideas. You know, team is the most important part of your assignment as a leader. So rest all was very good. I don't find any item where I can correct you. Just keep it up. Wish you all
Thank
the
you, sir.
best.
Thank you.
So Nitisha, overall you have done very well. So keep working on content.
Yes.
So wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Nitisha, any questions from you?
So the point which you talked about is very important, that I have to show that I'm suitable for civil service. So what specific things I can say that I can convince the board that I am suitable as a civil servant?
So it can only be reflected in the answer that you would have given in that question.
Farmers agitation.
I would also refer to the last question which I asked you. What is the dharma for a civil
Dharma.
servant? Your points were not very up to the mark.
Okay.
So my dharma is the constitution and rule of law.
Yes. True.
You see, when you said I will work for the poorest of the poor, lastest of the lastest, now you have to ensure equality also.
Yes.
You know, if a poor man says that I need a house and you all right, de diya tujhe, you're the poorest.
Yes.
The scheme says something else. He's not entitled.
Understood.
So you have not ensured equality.
Hmm.
Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So that was an emotional statement.
Right. Understood.
So your reply will reflect how much you know about your role as a civil servant.
Right. I'll keep
Same
this.
thing which I mentioned in the first or second question that I asked. That, sir, as DM, I am the leader of the district administration. You know, so you have mentioned that you know that the district magistrate is. Now you referred to that I will seek help from other departments to coordinate. No, it is not help. He is the leader.
Leader.
The rest are all followers.
Yes.
So you should not give that impression of slightly, you know, it showed lack of knowledge.
Understood.
कि हेल्प आप पुलिस से हेल्प नहीं लोगे, आप पुलिस को डायरेक्ट करो.
Direct.
सो यही बस ये जो फ्रेजेस हैं इससे पता लगेगा.
Right.
एंड द प्रायोरिटीज,
Priorities.
you know, that law and order you would refer to first. Number 2, sir, I would continue the negotiations with the farmers to find a solution under the overall policies of the government, to see that the agitation doesn't, you know, spill over or maybe expand or maybe turns violent. Right?
Okay.
And whatever, and I would coordinate with all the departments to see that, you know, whatever solution can be found. So agitation में हमने ये तो नहीं कहा कि local demand है आपकी, या नेशनल डिमांड है. अब this demand which is happening now, it's not under the purview of the district magistrate of Gurgaon or Rewari for that matter, right? But in case there is an agitation or some law and order or something happening in your district, then you will also mention that I will look for a solution, which is within the rule of law, within the legal framework, and is in the public interest. Yes. So everything will come from your answers, the quality of answers.
Yes.
What else?
I think that is all. So I'll work on this because I am not very aware of how the things work.
That
So
is
I'll
what
read
I am
about
saying. Because I have seen, one has seen how executives and MNCs work, what is the work culture. और ये चीज़ सबको लगती है अरे MBA ये वो ये टेक्नोक्रेट एकदम से कैसे सिविल सर्वेंट के रूप में. तो आपको ऐसा बिहेव करना है कि नहीं आई नो अ लॉट अबाउट व्हाट सिविल सर्वेंट डज. दैट आल्सो शोज कि नहीं, मेरा पैशन वाज देयर सिंस बिगनिंग. ये तो मैं आई वाज जस्ट while preparing I am doing all these jobs. Right. Just give that impression through your more knowledge. Just read what district administration does, what civil servants do. तो थोड़ा उससे आइडिया हो जाएगा, उसी को आप रिफ्लेक्ट कर दीजिएगा. What else?
So, and in the end, when you asked me if there's something you want, like I want to say, was it okay or should I think of something?
It's always good that you say something. That's I would be happy if you could ask me something more on sociology.
Okay.
Or whatever. You have got such high qualifications on women empowerment, on my state, Chhattisgarh, on tribals, but not on something like badminton.
Okay.
You understand the difference?
Yes.
It's a very trivial thing.
Understood.
Badminton, how do you play badminton? What can you, So keep that in mind.
Okay.
We have given you 67%, NITISHA, for today's interview. And whatever we have told you, they would certainly improve you further. How much UPSC gave you in your first round of interview?
So I got 157 in my
Very
first.
less, no?
Yes.
Why?
So it was in the first phase only. I just had 10 days. So I was not very well prepared.
So now your interview is on 26. You have
20.
taken leave?
Yes.
You
I know.
You devote your time.
Yes.
Make your knowledge a little widened
Wide.
and deeper also.
Okay.
अभी वो बिल्कुल वो ideal perfection वाली stage नहीं है.
Right.
ठीक है ना? And you will do it. You are so well educated and bright and intelligent.
Thank you, sir.
All the
sir.
best to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.